it's Mike, and in this pit stop I want to talk to you about moving the needle. And what I mean about moving the needle is seriously making an impact on the trading performance of your business, and what that's going to take from a team or yourself as a business owner to make that happen. So I hear a lot about businesses who we've grown 10%, 20%, 30% year on year, and that's an amazing result. Congratulations if you're in that pool. But how are you going to move the needle 300% this year, 300% next year, 300% the year after? And I'm not talking about ridiculous one-off, one-hit wonders that just have a blip because you won that one contract. I'm talking about continuously scaling, but sustainably. So not going right up and then back down. And there's a great saying out there, I'm not sure if it's Zig Ziglar or something like that, where it says you can't expect different results doing the same thing. And making nominal adjustments in your business, there's a time for that, and I'm all for marginal gains. They can make a big difference. You'll hear me speak about marginal gains a lot in these growth engine sort of videos, and I'm absolutely all for that. I'm a big advocate for marginal gains. However, what I'm talking about here is sitting down, doing a full evaluation, and doing something that's going to seriously move the needle. I've been working with a company who work with a specific size of business, and the typical model, it's a wider audience at the top and lower. So they're probably getting 100 plus inquiries a month, closing 18, 20, 25, that 1 in 4, 1 in 5 sort of ratio. And with any market like that, then the sale price and the margin is going to be at a level, and they're relying on high volumes of interest to funnel down a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 conversion, 20-25% conversion. So we talked recently about flipping that and saying, well, what if we actually left that model there? It's tried and tested. Yes, we can get better at it, we can make the marginal gains, but why don't we sort of enter into a new market? I'm talking about the big ticket market, and that's not very wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. That is very narrow at the top, and it comes usually right down, and it's not much narrower at the bottom, although it can be using a strategy called ABM, account-based marketing, and entering into that new marketplace instead of and I'll use an example sale price here. This is not the real sale price, but I'll use an example one. In the previous or the current model that they're running, let's say the average sales price is £5,000, and they're closing 1 in 4, generating 100 inquiries to do that. So there's £500,000 of opportunities, to close about £100,000 of the business. So you'd say, well, I'd be happy with that, and most companies wouldn't. That's fine. But I'm asking you to widen your vision here, and if you're established, you're good at what you do, and you've got a little bit of capital around you, or you feel that you want to fund your business to expand, then I'm asking you to look at the larger ticket business. It shouldn't be entered without full prep, without full consideration, without full planning, and with the correct expectations set. Purely and simply is because these longer, so these bigger opportunities, they're a longer burn. You're not going to get 100 of those inquiries and close 20. You might get 10 inquiries instead of 500. You might get 15 to 20 inquiries instead of 1,000. That's just how that marketplace, because there ain't that big a fish up there. There's not the volume of it. When you look at the stats of small businesses in the UK, there's about 5.2 million small businesses, about 2.93 million registered with HMRC, and outside of that, you're going to be late 80s, 90% of them are small, medium enterprises. Those big ticket businesses might only be half a million out of maybe not even that, 250,000 out of 5+ million, and then the real bigger tickets might only be 100,000 out of 5 million. So you can see you might be down to as low as a couple of % of market share. So if you accept that, and you also accept that those type of customers still have a need to buy your product or service with the correct market research, competitor analysis, looking not only what the demands of those bigger businesses are, but who are currently serving them. If you can create a product, create a value proposition that is swifter, nimbler, lower cost to implement, and gives them immediate value, so they can sit down and say, yeah, we're currently working with supplier A or partner A, but this supplier B or partner B offers a faster, more dynamic, quicker route to market, higher return, whatever that would be. And again, I'm not just talking about discounting here, because you would already have to have a tighter margin on those bigger accounts. What I'm talking about here is having a rounded proposition that just makes sense. The bigger businesses that don't want to have to work it out, they'll put companies through long tender processes or longer sales cycles, and that's at their end. It doesn't mean to say you should sort of adjust your presentations or your pitch decks or your proposals on a long format. A lot of them do appreciate a 1, 2, 3 pager that sort of says who we are, what we do, why it makes a difference, and why you should buy it. That type of play. And ultimately, if you can sort of look at that market, imagine in this case that the units sold, the boxes sold on the previous 5,000 was 10. So £500 a box, 10 boxes, 5,000. What if it was 50,000 and there was 100 boxes? Wow, that's 5 million straight out of the gate. 5 million. Now, I know what you're saying, Mike. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. Yeah, but the question I've got for you today is, when was the last time you took a look? When was the last time you physically put management time down and said, hey, I'm going to go and at least stick my head above the wall, the pit, and take a look at that market? 1, are we in a position to do that? 2, could we make a difference? 3, what would it take to do it? That's all I'm asking. Because if you're never going to do that, and you're never going to go and look at these big ticket opportunities, you may even have customers who can refer you into those opportunities, which is a great start. So if you're never going to be in that situation, then you're never going to move the needle where you're at. And if you sit in your car, you put the gear stick in neutral with a handbrake on, you rev your engine, that rev counter's going to go and do that. It's going to move. Now, if you're just blipping the throttle, you're going to get little movements. Now, it depends where you want to be. If you're happy where you're at, this conversation's probably not for you. If you're not where you're at and you want to go and have a look at it, then actually go and pick out the top 3 people who buy your product. And if that's the BBC, if that's somebody like British Airways, that's what it is. Go and have a look at it, but be cautious, spend the right amount of time, and it might take you 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months to implement something like that, and it might equally take that long to close a sale, or even longer. So have you got the skill sets? Have you got the appetite? There's certainly a market there. Big businesses still need to buy stuff, guys. They still need to buy stuff, and why can't that be off you? So I hope you find that of interest, and it's perked some ideas. If you've got any questions on moving the needle, if you want to shoot me a message on Twitter, use the hashtag #TheOpenMic or hashtag #GrowthEngine, and we'll get that answered for you, or leave a comment on the blog or YouTube, wherever you're watching this. And as always, get in the game, go do the hustle, go make it happen, and I'll catch up with you real soon.